My name's Melanie, and I have a child who started IM when she was 8 years old. She had been kind of behind in both kindergarten and in first grade, but we thought maybe she would just catch up, and so the teachers kept saying, oh, just wait a little bit, just wait a little bit. Well, when she got to second grade, she was really far behind, and so I tried to get the teacher to initiate the SIP process and kind of keep an eye, and they said, well, we're keeping an eye on her, and well, by the time they actually started that process, she was so far behind. She had a pre-K reading level, she was behind in math, she was behind in reading, she was behind in spelling, she was behind in absolutely everything, and school was difficult. She didn't want to go, she didn't like it, she was having meltdowns where she would just ball her fists up like this and scream and just and it was really difficult for her. Everything was frustrating her. Coming out of second grade, where she was spending 2 hours on homework or more every single night, I had to sit there that whole time and help her. She wasn't getting anything. She couldn't spell, she couldn't read, she was having a very difficult time. And so I had seen a flyer for IM, and I thought, well, we've tried everything else, let's try this. And so I called, and then she was able to get into IM during that summer, which is why we went outside of the school district, because we needed to be able to figure out what was going on and fix it then, because making it through third grade is difficult, so that we could get her the help that we felt as parents that she desperately needed.
So you went through IM 2 summers ago for the first time, 15 sessions. Tell us about that experience.
Josulyn thought it was a lot of work, and she really enjoyed it though. She enjoyed coming to IM. She woke up in the morning and was ready to go. And at first, I wasn't sure that I was really noticing anything from it, other than she was just very excited and wanted to go and was excited when she did well. And she got prizes, so who doesn't like prizes? And then after, kind of toward the end of the sessions, I was noticing some differences at home. Her room was staying cleaner. She was able to follow through on something without me having to ask her 100 times to do it. I could ask her once or twice, and she'd be like, okay, and she would go do that. She was able to follow multi-step directions, which prior to that, it was one step at a time. I mean, even coming out of second grade, it was one step at a time. She could jump better, she could run easier. Her coordination, I guess, overall was just better. She wasn't as clumsy,
After the first time
After the first time through.
Okay, so that school year after the first time through, where did you put her?
We started that SIP process, and she had made tremendous gains. Going into that year, the teacher had read, I made a packet for them, and the teacher had read through the entire packet, and she's like, I'm just really not seeing what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you mean. I've put her at these levels, and she's doing the Title I, and she's in the lower tiers for reading, but I'm just not seeing it. And we went ahead and went through that process, and by the time we got through it, she's almost at grade level on absolutely everything. She's doing fantastic, and she was ineligible for an IEP. And I attribute all of that to IM, because that is truly what helped her grow so much.
But now you went ahead and put her through this next summer.
I did. I went ahead and I decided to go ahead and put her through again, because there were still some things that just seemed like they needed to be fine-tuned. As far as the coordination, it was so much better, but she was still a little bit clumsy. She didn't quite have that rhythm down. Her processing speed was still slower than most, and she still was having not behavior issues, but frustration. And so I decided, well, we're going to do another summer of IM. And we did. And this school year, she's doing fabulous. She is able to self-regulate herself, which is fantastic. She's able to use her words to tell people what's going on with her. She is not spending 2 hours on homework like she had been previously. She's still a slow reader, but she's getting it. And she can read a passage, and she's at grade level. She has A's and B's, all A's and B's, which is fantastic.
4th grade.
And she is in 4th grade this year. Yeah. In 4th grade now, she's able to read. She's able to figure out the information from the context of it. She has friends at school. She enjoys going to school. She's keeping her room picked up. She's able to follow multi-step directions. And she's just overall doing very well. As far as sleep is concerned, she used to wake up multiple times in the middle of the night, sometimes. Other times she would just sleep so incredibly hard, and was a bear to wake up in the morning, did not like to get up in the morning. It was just hard to wake up. Mm-hmm. Now I go in, I flip on the light, and I say, Josulyn, it's time to get up. And I sing her a little song, and she gets up, gets out of bed, goes downstairs, and hops in the shower. So it's much, much easier than what it used to be. Used to take me maybe 20, 30 minutes to wake her up in the morning. And now it's a minute. It's great.
Would you ever want to go back to her pre-IM?
No, I would not want to go back to her pre-IM. I think pre-IM, she wasn't as happy of a child as what she is now. And I think that as a parent, I wasn't as happy with her as I am now, because it was much more difficult. It was difficult for her because she was having a difficult time making friends. Reading was difficult, spelling was difficult. Life in general seemed hard for her. Now she enjoys life. She's easygoing, she's lovable, she's friendly, and she can have fun doing anything. So that's a plus.